I need to get that. You done a job and they bought your old speckled in. I love that. I like that, mate. Hey, they're pushing the boat out for you at least.
Oh, yeah, I mean, so, right, lovely old couple just lived around the corner from the shop.
Nice
And
one.
I just took the curtains down for them, and yeah, they said, "Oh, thanks for doing that. Do you like drink? Did you have a drink?" He goes, so I said, "Yeah." So he said, "Yeah, I'll have a bottle of beer on me." He brought me that like that.
Is it cold?
It's quite cold as that, man. So,
Oh, love that, mate. Love that.
uh,
So, Lee, look, what I want to do with you is talk about the stuff that winds you up. What football. What in football winds you up? Because do you know what winds me up in football?
go on, yeah, go on. What you
Do
mean?
you want to really know what winds me up? Obviously, we know VAR winds me up, right?
Yeah, that winds up.
VAR winds me up, but the fact that football hasn't adjusted and put the terraces back, the safe
Yeah,
terraces, that's what winds me up, especially for the product that is the Premier League. That is what really winds me up, because if you could have it in Germany and you can have it
yeah,
at Celtic in Scotland, why can't you have it in the most prominent and dominant league in the world? And it will make the Premier League so much a better feature for everybody globally than it is now.
yeah. Without that, the atmosphere. Look at like Anfield, today they're showing the scenes in that when Arsenal scored. Like everybody going mad. That's how you've got to get that back. You've got to get that atmosphere back. You know what I mean? Like I think that's a great point. All the grounds, that's from Liverpool, Everton to Highbury, have all lost their atmosphere, Kev. Every single Premier League ground. I felt, when you go to abroad, Paris and places like that, they've got safe standing and or whatever, but they get the noise generated and all that. It's such a big thing, really.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously, because we come up in the Highbury era.
Yeah.
I stood on the North Bank, having that energy, because it's an energy, isn't it? It's an energy that comes off the North Bank and the clock end onto the players on the pitch, etc. Global fans will see a totally different game, I believe.
I always say it now, Kev, we was lucky to experience that. You as a player, as well as a supporter, and me as a supporter. For the people now, they come into the ground. Some of them even come in late, Kev. You know what I mean? Don't even get to the kickoff. You could not do that in our day. You had to be in the ground by 2 o'clock.
You had to be in your spot. Yeah, you had to get your spot.
Otherwise, you'd lose it, but that was part of it, and it was the build up of the atmosphere, and all gone now, all gone. Totally different watching it, really. If you be honest, it is different.
It is. You know what, Lee? It is totally different. And again, this is why it winds me up. We're talking about what winds us up in football. This is why it winds me up. Now, iconic Highbury, we get sold the dream. We know about that. We got sold that. That's the other thing that winds me up as well. But we'll get to that later on in the show. We'll get to that later on. So we leave iconic Highbury and we go to the Emirates. Totally understand about, the reports and the laws and everything that, all-seater stadium and all that kind of thing. Totally get that. But as a spectacle, English football should have been trying to get safe standing back as quickly as possible. That's in my eyes.
Yeah.
And as long as it's safe, 100%, it has to be safe. But to get it back in, I'm sure some of them corporates, people who look at the corporates, and Arsenal make a fortune. They make an absolute fortune.
Yeah.
From corporates. But to be able to get some of that old feeling back of a standing terrace or a couple of terraces there that have the boys in, do you know what I mean? That have the lads who meet up and generate that energy. I just think it's a poorer game, and it's a poorer club for not having that, or trying to at least re-implement it, I should say, back into the Arsenal fabric.
I totally agree. And the most important thing about that is if me and you were kids now, we wouldn't be able to go.
Yes.
We would not be able to go to games, you know what I mean? And the reason we love football is because we was allowed to go to those games when we was kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and have that experience as a kid. There's no way we could go now. You could. I
Couldn't afford it.
Couldn't afford it. I couldn't afford to pay out whatever it was, you know, like, 30, 40 quid for a game. You know what I mean? We was paying like £5, and it seemed a lot of money in those days. But
I struggled to go then. Never mind. I struggled to go when I was young. Do you know what I mean?
You know, so it is, what's the word? Squeezing out the fans like
the
us.
Real
you know
fans,
what I mean?
yeah, the real fans.
Yeah, you can't afford to go. You know what I mean? Like, because you're dead right. You wouldn't have been able to go. You know, you might have gone down a different path in life. You know what I mean? Because of that, I wouldn't have been able to go. You know, and you know, like even like away games at that time, Kev, were a little bit hard to go to because of financial things for teenagers and whatever. But you know, you wouldn't be able to go to Manchester now. You know, it's like £100.
Yeah.
You know, it's ridiculous. You know what I mean? So, you know, that is one thing that I always say about when people say I'm 50 and I said, no, I never knocked my childhood. I had a great childhood, and one of the reasons was because you could go. Listen, we used to go down to Spurs every other week. You know what I mean? Or go, like West Ham at home. We'll go and have a look at them. You can't do that now.
Yeah, no. It's too much money. Costs you too much. But again, maybe, and I really hope Arsenal take this into consideration. The economic situation as we speak right now.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of people who were quite flush before this, ain't going to be as flush anymore. And
Bang on.
People are losing their jobs, and you know, can these people actually afford to have their season tickets and do what they used to do? I don't think they will be able to, because Arsenal's the most expensive ticket in town.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's the most expensive ticket. So again, Lee, I would just love Arsenal to make a gesture to convert one of the stands, and if they have to move people, it's a big ground, they can move people.
Yeah,
but to get a terracing in, you know, get some terracing in which is a bit cheaper, but it would generate more of a crowd. Because look, Arsenal going to play behind closed doors now when it restarts, and they're going to realise, do you know what? We might have had barnage with some of the fans before, but we really miss them, and we need to cherish them.
I think it's to do the fans good. This will. It do the fans good not having them there for a few weeks. Not just from that side of it. Also, you know, one thing that really bugs me, we'll talk about, is the times for games. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, all to suit telly, nothing to suit the fan. They're going to realise in these next few weeks, when they're playing with no fans, how important the fans are.
Yeah,
which never could actually give us a bit of power back.
Yeah. I think so too. I think because you know what? I don't know if you've been watching the German football, Lee.
I've seen little bits of it. I get bored of it.
Lee, it's just not. It's football ain't the same, mate. It's not the same. Look, it fills a little gap when you watch it, right? It fills a little gap because they're playing. It's a game.
Yeah.
But no, without the fans, it's nothing. It's nothing.
I agree. You know, like, don't get me wrong. When Arsenal are playing, I watch them, of course. You know what I mean? But it ain't going to be the same. Ain't going to be the same.
It's not going to be the same. Well, my lad's back at training, which is good.
Gone in.
Yeah, first day was yesterday, so he's had his test done. You know, passed the test and everything, and they're back in training now, so that's good.
Did he have to do that himself?
No, he went in. He actually went in, and they all isolated and got their all tests done and stuff like that. So they're getting tested twice a week. Which, look, there's going to be no safer place than football clubs. I'll tell you that.
Without a doubt.
There's going to be no safer place.
He's in a safe place, and you know, I mean, he'll be all right. You know, and it'd be good to see him get now. Like, don't get me wrong. When Stoke are playing, that'd be good to watch them. I watch them because, like, you know, Tyrese is playing, and that gives you a little bit of interest.
Yeah.
I think at the moment, German football, I ain't really interested in German football. Like, you
It's
know,
not the same, is it?
when that comes back, I'll watch that because there is a little bit of interest in that with Real Madrid and Barcelona.
Yeah.
But people. I'll tell you one thing that really is bugging me when people keep saying at the moment, cancel the season, get rid of it. Like, you know, I went around and seen me. You know, as you know, my dad ain't too good at the moment.
Yeah.
And I went round there and said, I said, "Oh, you're right." He said, "I'm all right." He said, "I can't wait to get the football back," because he ain't got nothing else, Kev.
Yeah.
Sitting indoors, housebound. But he turned around and said, "If I see one more of these fucking Sherlock Holmes films, he's going to kill me." Like,
Sherlock Holmes, yeah, driving him. What winds you up, Dad? Sherlock Holmes.
See Sherlock Holmes films all the time. He said, "Give me some fucking football, and I'll be a
I
little
love
bit."
it.
So you know that people don't realise when they say, "I'll get rid of it." It's all right for us who've got other things in our lives, but there's a lot of people that have just got
Just
football.
on their own kind of thing, aren't they?
Yeah. So
and that's real isolation, Lee.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's real isolation, who can't really get about or go out too much or anything like that. You know, that's the tough part, mate. That's really tough.
Yeah. So the football is you know, when people say, "Oh, it's more," there is a big thing about getting football back on, just for a lot of old age people and things like that. It's not just for us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and the fan that's going, and there's a lot of people that, you know, haven't got anything else in their lives. You know what I mean? So it's a big thing.